Okay, we are preparing, got it, and we are live on Facebook. So, hey everybody, it is a Wednesday in the Chicagoland area. Here we are, and it's beautiful outside. I love these kind of days where it's just sunny and bright, and it just feels good. I think we just feel better. But we're excited today because we have a really awesome guest today that we're going to interview, and we're trying to bring some really cool things to you all. And when we say for the health and wellness of you, it also is for like some of our lifestyle things that we need, some of the things that affect us that we want to be able to do and make our events better. And you'll understand what I mean once you start listening to what we have going on here. But I wanted to say, hey Laura, how are you doing? You're looking great. How's it going?
Oh, well, thank you, Debbie. Yeah, it's Wednesday here out in the Chicagoland area. You know, it's going to be hot this week. So I don't know what it is out there yet because I haven't been out there. But, you know, I met this girl before she was even married. I'm in a bunco group and we had her as a substitute. Her mother-in-law now brought her in because we needed somebody to substitute. And I just thought she was the coolest thing. And then she married, you know, my friend's son, and just fascinated by her and everything that she's doing, that I asked her mother-in-law if we could interview her. Well, with no further ado, this is Stephanie Kolosky. Stephanie, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Good. Well, tell us a little bit about who you are in your business.
Yeah. So, I have two kids. They're 2 years old and 10 months. Nora is my older one and Parker is my little girl. They keep me very busy, but I love them. So I met my husband in high school. We grew up in Lisle and got married in 2018. And I had a really great experience with my wedding photographer. And one of my best friends from college also got married in 2018 and also had a really good experience with her wedding photographer. And we started talking. We were both thinking about having kids and just wanted to do something on our own to have our own time. So we started a business in 2019 in November, right before the pandemic started, a photography business, primarily families and weddings. So we've been growing it the last 2 years. We both have kids now. I have two and she has one and one on the way. So we've been working on navigating how we grow a business that's still in its infancy while also having infants of our own. So it's been quite the journey. Very lucky that our husbands have been very supportive. But for me, how I got started in it, I went to college at Augustana and I majored in business and minored in journalism. And I remember all of my friends were basically in the medical field. And I was very envious of them because medical field, there's like a very clear path you're going. If you're going to be a doctor, these are the steps you follow. With business, you can do kind of whatever you want. And I was always I'm very interested in a lot of things, but I never knew where I fit. So when it was time for graduation, I remember like school was always pretty easy for me because if someone tells me what to do, I'm pretty good about doing it, playing sports and everything my whole life. But now it's like, you get to choose your destiny. What do you want to do with your life? And I never really found my niche. Like I was creative, but I never knew where my path was going to go. I didn't see a clear line anywhere. So after school, I worked for the MLB doing social media photography for them. So I worked for the Chicago White Sox. And then I also moved down to Miami and worked for the Miami Marlins for a little bit, doing their social media and events and stuff. So I knew I liked that field, but I never knew how it was going to come to fruition or become like an actual reality where I could have a family and a life and also be passionate about the jobs what I'm doing. So I started working for a fitness company, Orange Theory Fitness in Downers Grove in Westmont. And the cool thing about the studio I worked for is they're all individually franchised. And the couple that I worked for was a husband and wife, and they ran it like a small business. Because it's franchised, you really get to do what you want under the umbrella of the Orange Theory Fitness. And so I learned a lot from them, just how to work with people, how to manage people, how to like know your worth, those types of things, and just create really good relationships. So I was very fortunate to work for them for 6 years and gain a lot of knowledge. There's still some of my really good friends that work there. But after I had my second daughter, I dove headfirst into the photography business. And so, yeah, we've been, last year in 2020, we had 4 weddings. This year in 2021, excuse me, 2022, now we have 19 of our own weddings. So we've grown,
Wow.
yeah, like crazy on that. We also second shoot for people. So between the two of us, we're helping at around 60 weddings this year. So that's just like crazy how much we've grown. It's really neat to have somebody do it with me who's going through the same struggles of motherhood and joys of motherhood, trying to figure out the balance of life, and while having a home and trying to be, have a social life. There's so many things that you want to do. And so having a partner to start this with has been unbelievable. So it's called Z & Co Photography, which Z, the person I work with, Miranda, her last name is Zimnick and my last name is Kolosky. So that's, our husbands actually thought of Z & Co. So that's where our photography business comes from. And we started small on Facebook. We just said, hey, we're interested in doing this. Let us know if you want some photos for free. And then incrementally, we've started to grow and created a website and just tried to get to know people in the industry, because there's a lot of people in the market of photography, but there's a place for everybody. Your web of people that is different than other people's web. So you just get to know people, and it's been so fun meeting new families. We're meeting some of the old families that we've seen grow now. Like we did some weddings and now they're having kids, and that kind of stuff is really neat. And then also getting to know new families and traveling. We go anywhere all over mostly the state of Illinois, but we're kind of all over in the city or the suburbs. And it's just been really neat. And it's cool now being a mom and my kids seeing me do something that I'm passionate about that also is like a job. So I take it very seriously, but I'm so happy doing what I'm doing. The days are really long. My younger one wakes up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm with them all day. And then my office hours, I call them, they start usually at like 7:30 until 11 o'clock at night, and then rinse and repeat, do it all over the next day. So it's a little bit of a grind right now, but it's been amazing. And yeah, so we've been just growing and trying to do it all while we can. But yeah, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I got a couple things to say. First of all, Lori and I, we knew what it was like to work hard, but then also raise families, and we both worked in industries like you are, that we can kind of not necessarily completely call our own shots, but we can kind of manage it. And it's so nice to see someone young like you, that you're able to do that and then link up with someone that you feel you trust, and you know that they are going to do things the way that you want to do things. And what's so cool too is that if you ever feel like there's a time as your life is getting a little too busy, maybe, who knows, with whatever's going on, you can always still focus on other parts of photography. You can do more portrait stuff. You can do more like, family photo or, engagement, and you've got each other to bounce off of each other. So that's really awesome, and I'll tell you what, as much as people will think, oh, it's so easy to take photos. No, it really isn't. You have to have everything just right. The biggest thing we laugh about these days, if you would have seen Lori and I when we hit our weddings, when the photographers had to walk around with a whole big side pocket full of rolls of film, and they'd be pulling, oh, wait, pull the film out, got to put it in. They never got to see anything. And then we had to go through all our photos, and we'd have them in an album, or we've had them in like little packets to look at what photo prints that we wanted, And so it's nice that like the way that technology has gone, it's helped you out, but it's still, you have to be talented at it, And it's awesome. So we're so excited because we know, so Lori and I are at the age where all our peers and friends are having weddings, their kids, and just in the businesses that we've been involved in and the social platform that we have here, we know so many people. So love to get you, get your information up, like we talked about previously, to post it on the bottom in the comment section of this, because this is great, So.
Yes, and both of you worked in fields that are very closely related with wedding industry, which is like really what we work in. Yeah, so the days, for a photographer, like you said, it seems pretty quick, like, 8 to 10 hours, you take photos, but it's like the editing, that's what the bulk of our time is. A wedding could be anywhere, like I could take probably 3,000 to 4,000 photos in an 8-hour day. And then you have to go through those. The ones that you actually deliver is probably closer 800 to 1,200, but still to go through them, like one wedding could take anywhere from, it takes a couple of days of my time to call those and go through them and edit them. So yeah, so that's, I couldn't imagine back in the day doing all the films and going through.
Yeah. That's crazy. Wow. Well, and Laura, have you got anything that you'd like?
Well, I don't know. We really didn't talk about this, but I think you probably knew Debbie and I are best friends.
Yeah.
And we started this platform during the pandemic so we could keep everybody positive, and the people we met are just great. But like Debbie was saying, in the old days, she was a hairdresser and I was a florist. I've done about 2,000 weddings in my lifetime, and it's a lot of stress because you have to make it so perfect for that day. You don't get another chance to do it. And, you say taking that many pictures, that's awesome. But, that's a special day for that bride. And brides are always, they're excited, but some of them might be where they're just overly anxious and stuff. And you have to have the personality to be a part of that wedding, to deal with what's going on for that day and stuff. And I just think you have such a great personality for that. And what's so neat about it too, and I'm sure your girls have talked about it, you're doing the weddings now, then you're going to be doing the portraits of the kids and stuff, but then you're going to be doing graduation pictures, the high school pictures, and then their kids get married. That's what we both seen in our industry. We started with our friends, and then their friends got married, and we've seen them all the way down the line. And that's such a personable thing, and there's not many industries where you have that kind of relationship with your customer. Okay. Because it's such a personal thing, and like you could go, for example, say you did a bride, her name was Mary, and Mary will run into you in the grocery store or whatever, and she'll know who you are. And Mary's kids would know who you are. And that relationship builds and builds and builds. And this is what America is all about. This is what America is that feeling of knowing people and the relationships you build. So I commend you for doing this, and I just think it's so awesome. And I'm sure you work around your husband's schedules, and everybody does their share to make things happen. And I know it's not always smooth, but you do the best you can. And that Augustana is a great school. I know my niece goes there, and just a great school. But you learn a lot of great values there too. Stuff. So, and that's so cool that you and your husband, you grew up together in Lisle. Did you go to school together since kindergarten?
No, so Lisle School District, most of the kids I went to school with from kindergarten through graduation and high school, but he was like the new kid. He went to St. Joan, he went to the Catholic school in town. And so he was like the new kid coming in when we were in high school. So he was someone new that I met, but we now live in Woodridge, we joke that we live like as close to Lisle without living there for the rest of our lives.
Right.
So yeah, so we are still in the area. We're really lucky our families are close by, so they can help out with our girls and everything when we need. But yeah, it's definitely it's like a juggling act. Every week is a little bit different. But that's kind of how I like it. I've never really been like a 9-to-5 type of job person. I could never see myself just sitting behind a desk. I'm too much energy, too many thoughts, like I get too creative. So I like the unknown that we are experiencing. Every day is different and every day is fun. And yeah, like you were saying, when you guys started your Facebook group during the pandemic, I had my first daughter in May of 2020. So like right when everything kind of happen. So starting this business with my best friend has been amazing because it gets kind of lonely, like having a kid in a very unknown time. A lot of the programs were closed down, like we couldn't take her to the library for reading time and we couldn't do a lot of those things. So having somebody, like you said, your best friend to do something with has been like unbelievable. So I very much resonate with that.
Totally. Well, I'm excited to get your cards to put them in my salon because I'm still currently doing weddings and I love weddings and I have a lot of young clients, so this is exciting, Very cool.
It's so cool to be a part of somebody's like happiest days. Like every day I go into when we have a wedding, like we have one coming up on Saturday and I'm just like, I still pinch myself like, this is my job. This is what I get to do for a living. I get to just see people on their happiest days. And, I remember at my wedding stopping and just looking around the room and seeing all the people you love so much in one spot. It's just like the coolest thing. And so now you get to see that for other people.
Right.
It's very emotional being a mom now though. And like having to watch the mother-son dances and the father-daughter dances.
Oh,
it hits so differently now.
And well, what's really hard is you're there doing it and you're trying to take the photos. And it's probably like we are when we're watching those on TV. I'm bawling and crying and I'm seeing it and I'm going, oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. It's great. Well, I resonate with you a lot too. And I know Lori can with like when I'm doing a bride and I know that I've done her bride trial and I know I have that day the night before I'm nervous because I want to be at my top of my game and I want to know I'm doing everything perfect. And, and when you're done and you feel good about it and you feel like, wow, you walk away and you're like, it's fun. It just makes you, it energizes you and feels like it's a lot of self fun, it's good. So.
Yeah, I just think it's great. And, you're a great inspiration for a lot of young moms. And, you went with what you felt you needed to do and you wanted to do, and you're doing something exciting. I just think that's wonderful that you're doing a dream, that you're doing your dream and, and you're still part of your children's lives.
Right.
You're not, I think that's just wonderful. And there's nothing better than grandmas and grandfathers watching.
Helping out. Yep. We're both grandmas, so we know we love it.
There's nothing better. So, Debbie, you have any other questions?
I don't. We're just going to say to everybody that, Stephanie, thank you for taking time out to be with us. We're excited that we're going to have your information. We're going to post it. We're excited for all our local people that watch us, but our local people have people that have moved away, have people back here too. So, we're out there with a lot of people and we encourage you to, share us, let people know about what we're doing because everything on our whole focus, that we have is we want to just encourage people to, reach out and learn about the people we've interviewed. And then some of the topics that we have, we just hope that they actually help others. That's our big thing, so that's our deal. So with that, we're going to say thank you. Help put stuff in the comment section. We'll get it out on YouTube, like in a little while. And we thank you. And Laura, you want to close this out?
Yeah, thank you so much. And, we look forward to having you on again. And with that, everybody have a great Wednesday and enjoy the weather, enjoy the summer. Before you know, it's all going to be gone and we're in the fall. So with that, have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye-bye.